We have some updates for you in the White County Jail. Good evening and welcome to TV 16 Live at 5. I'm Emily Curry.
And now your Saturday morning may be a little more exciting. I'm Katie Moran. It's Friday, March 3rd.
Let's take a quick look at conditions outside right now. 57 degrees and sunny skies. Humidity at 23%. It's not very moist out there. 19 the dew point, and the pressure at 30.31 and steady. I'll have the full forecast for you coming up, including your weekend forecast. Live at 5 starts right now.
Rain leaks add more problems for an overcrowded local jail. White County Detention Center experienced significant flooding during the last big rain. White County Sheriff Pat Garrett says water was standing up to ½ an inch deep throughout the entire facility. Due to overcrowding, some inmates were caught sleeping on the floor when the flooding occurred. The jail is also experiencing additional leaking from bad plumbing. Garrett says he was able to transfer over 30 state inmates to other facilities in Arkansas. This will temporarily relieve the problem until later this year when a new jail is expected to be completed.
Students of the Harding University Honors College hosted the seminar titled Peace in Palestine last night. The aim of the seminar was to address controversial issues in the Middle East between Jews and Muslims. The series included speeches from Rabbi Elliot Gertel, Professor of Islamic Studies Nabil Bayakli, and Dean of Harding University School of Religion Everett Hufford. TV 16 reporter Emily Curry has highlights from yesterday's seminar.
If you really want to appreciate your own faith, listen and see through the eyes of others, their perspective of God and the world itself.
This was also the hope of Brett Keller, director of this year's Collegiate Seminar Series.
I hope students will realize that these issues are complex and there are many facets that go into these discussions, into these conflicts, and that there aren't necessarily simple solutions. And the best way to find out about these is to have people who represent the different viewpoints discuss them.
Along with Peace in Palestine, the controversial cartoon depiction of the Prophet Muhammad was addressed by Dr. Nabil Bayakli.
You have responsibility as well as a journalist. You have the responsibility is that you should be informing the people, not just adding more fuel to the fire.
Rabbi Elliot Gertel offers his solution for peace in the Holy Land.
Really will be now to look and to see what unilateral steps will be taking place toward peace or toward war, to reward those unilateral steps toward peace, and to carefully watch and decide, make very hard decisions of those steps toward war.
The next seminar will take place in the fall of 2006 and will address the works of Renaissance artist Leonardo da Vinci.
The Searcy School District continues its investigation after a 5-year-old boy was left on a school bus earlier this week. The McCrae Elementary kindergartner fell asleep shortly after being picked up on Monday morning and was left inside the bus for over an hour. The Searcy School District has a policy that requires the bus driver to check the bus after every route. The cameras inside the bus show the bus driver neglected to do so. Searcy Superintendent Tony Wood says additional steps are being taken to make sure this never happens again.
Harding University's art department has begun its senior art shows. TV 16 talked with art professor Daniel Adams about the shows.
Okay, the senior art show that's going on right now is 4 different students. They're all graphic design majors, and all senior art majors put on an art show. And these all happen to be graphic design majors. In this gallery is Ivy Crosby and Lauren Lehman. And in the next gallery is Kylie Mabry and Cherish Ferguson. The shows are usually up for 2 weeks at a time. And so this show just came up this past Sunday, so it'll be up for this week and next week as well.
There are 15 to 20 students expected to display art shows this semester. Students can view the shows Monday through Friday from 8 to 5.
Well, spring has sprung, and with that comes pollen all over your car. Well, today and tomorrow you can get your car washed for free. K-Life Youth Ministry will be partnering with Zips Car Wash on East Race Street for the grand opening. Zips will give away free car washes to those attending the fundraiser, where K-Life board members will be present to accept any donations. The car washing will begin at 8 in the morning and go until 8 at night, so you can attend the fundraiser and get your car washed at the same time.
Preparations for next fall's Student Impact program are already underway. Student Impact directors Ryan Davenport and Betsy Glover are hard at work planning the 3-day orientation period for incoming freshmen and transfers. TV16 spoke with Davenport.
Freshman and transfer orientation that we do 3 days before school starts to get them into the school, to find out, give them information, and get them set up for the upcoming school year. Our goals is to make sure that the freshmen get more out of it than they usually do. Sometimes they get burnt out of it, or they don't go to the energy groups and they lose some information. So we want to make it more fast-paced, more interactive, so they don't get bored and wonder why they're here 3 days early. We're going to improve the energy groups by condensing more, instead of spreading them out, by condensing them so we can get more information in at a faster time, and then going and trying to start them with experience of college, kind of like the fun stuff, trying to show them what Harding University is going to be about before Harding starts.
The Sunshine School in Searcy will host a flea market / fundraiser this weekend. The special education school is hoping to raise money to build a new facility. Currently, the school is operating with limited space and is using portable classrooms to accommodate students. This is the only fundraiser hosted by the school. Other forms of support are based upon individual donations and the United Way. The flea market will take place tomorrow from 7:30 a.m. until 11 a.m. at the Carmichael Community Center. Well, coming up, Little Rock's jail is full, and they are not signing an agreement allowing them to use the North Little Rock Processing Center. We have what they plan to do coming up next.
And this month has been declared a special month. We'll be back with details soon.
Before we go to our break, let's take a look at our radar picture. It's clear right now outside, not any rain in the area, but that could change coming up over the weekend. I'll let you know about that next. Stay tuned. The weather is next.
I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places that this heart of mine embraces all day through. I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the night is new, I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you.
For 80 years, Harding University has been a leader in higher education in Arkansas. The university's reputation for excellence is one of the reasons Harding has been ranked as one of the best universities in the South for 11 consecutive years. Harding's faith-based educational experience combines character and academic excellence into a premier learning opportunity for undergraduate students and offers graduate programs in business, education, and counseling. Harding University engages the hearts and minds of its students.
For being back with us, let's take a look at the current service map and see what's going on right now out there. We are very clear, not much of anything, not even any clouds out there right now. We're under the influence of a high pressure system that's actually way up in the northern part of the United States, and that's keeping our weather clear. But it is a little bit cooler after this cold front has pushed through our area yesterday, actually, and we have experienced a cool down. Now back to the west, you can see a low pressure system in Nevada, and that will be pushing our direction, combining with this front here, and this will be pushing our direction and creating a little situation where we might get a little bit of rain. We'll have a cold front come through Arkansas, a warm front to our north, and that could set up for a few showers as this low pressure system marches off to the east. Let's take a look at a few temperatures. around the United States. 71 in Dallas, 76 in New Orleans. Pretty warm. We're gearing up for spring. 55 in Atlanta, 48 though in Kansas City. A little bit cooler behind that front. Back to the west, 63 there in Albuquerque. Now, sunshine was very plentiful today. Not any clouds around our area. We had a few morning clouds here and there, but that pushed on out and dissolved, and now we have clear skies. But you notice quite a large deck of clouds back in the panhandle of Texas. That's associated with that system and front that would be pushing our direction, giving us those chances for some rain showers coming up later on in the weekend. Now, temperatures locally here in our area, 52 in Jonesboro and Memphis, 60 though in Little Rock, a little bit warmer, 67 in Fort Smith, 63 in Hot Springs, 58 in Fayetteville. And again, the radar is clear at this point, nothing showing up as far as rain goes. Now, the high today, 57 degrees, the low 39, the record 80 degrees back in 1974, and 9 very, very bitter degrees back in 1943. That was the record low for them back in that point in time. 6:04 will be the sunset tonight, and the sun will come up tomorrow at 6:32 in the morning. No rain today. That puts us a little bit behind for the month. We're just at the very beginning. Nothing much to worry about, but we do need to catch up on our rain. We are behind for our rain over almost about 2 inches for the year, so it would be helpful if we did get a few showers. The timing may not be very good for us this weekend. Now tonight, 35 degrees will be our low. We won't get down to freezing, but it will be colder, clear skies, and northeasterly winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow should be a very nice day, mostly sunny skies, similar to today. 59 degrees, east-southeasterly winds at 5 miles per hour. Not many clouds out there, again, like today. It should be mostly sunny. And the weekend forecast, let's take a look at this. Mostly sunny again tomorrow. Now, Sunday, for those of you that are running in the Little Rock Marathon, it looks like the rain and the shower chances will be later on in the day, hopefully in the afternoon, but there is a 30% chance of showers on Sunday here in our area, but 60 degrees, so it should be fairly comfortable out there. Now, coming up later in the newscast, I'll have the 5-day forecast for you. Stay with us.
Why don't you come up here, Pumpkin?
What are you doing, Larry?
Well, Vince, I've asked my pumpkin to sit on my lap to prove a point.
And what is that, your Larryness?
Even if we fasten our safety belts, even if you hold on tight, even if you were watching the road, in a crash, your pumpkin will be nothing but a squash.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Use child safety seats.
We love that little pumpkin to pieces.
Harding University gives its students a global perspective in their educational experiences. Those experiences include semesters of study at 6 international campuses located in Greece, Italy, England, France, Australia, and Chile. No other Arkansas university offers such a variety of international learning opportunities. Harding University is committed to engaging the hearts and minds of students in its global classrooms.
Little Rock has a jail, but it is full. They had a holding center but chose not to use it. Today, a short-term holding center has been reopened in Little Rock, the North Little Rock Processing Center. It is available only to North Little Rock and Pulaski County authorities. But the City of Little Rock did not sign the agreement for the use of the processing center, meaning the Little Rock Police Department will not be able to use the center. The reason is that they don't agree with the rules that go with using the center. Those range from stipulations with transportation of prisoners and medical aid. Currently, the Little Rock Police Department is using the municipal court's holding cells. The municipal court holding cells can house about 10 female prisoners and 10 male prisoners.
To encourage Americans to learn more about the Red Cross and how they can help, President George Bush has declared this month Red Cross Month. He declared, "I, George W. Bush, President of the United States of America and Honorary Chairman of the American Red Cross, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Constitution and laws of the United States, do hereby proclaim March 2006 as American Red Cross Month. I commend the good work of the American Red Cross, and I encourage all Americans to continue to help the recovery efforts in the Gulf Coast region and around the world through volunteering their time, energy, and talents for others." The White County chapter of the American Red Cross is located on West Race Street next to Bobby's Restaurant. You can go by to see how you can get involved or go to the Red Cross website.
Police are on the scene of a train wreck in Union City, Georgia, south of Atlanta. It seems a tractor trailer got stuck on the tracks as a freight train approached. The truck driver managed to jump out just before it was struck by the train. He was not injured.
As a follow-up to a story we brought you last week, a U.S. Senator joins Arkansas residents in their concern over thousands of unused mobile homes in Hope, Arkansas. United States Senator Blanche Leakin says she supports Senator Mark Pryor's proposal to put mobile homes in floodplains on a temporary basis. Thousands of mobile homes were purchased by the Federal Emergency Management Agency after the Katrina disaster with hopes of providing temporary housing for Katrina victims. However, due to Louisiana flood laws, the trailers were not able to be stationed in Louisiana and have remained in the municipal airport in Hope ever since. Lincoln says she supports Pryor's proposal but wouldn't mind seeing them put back in federal surplus.
A railway employee at an Illinois metro station is dead after an SUV barreled into the station this morning. The crash happened just past 6 a.m. local time. Police are on a manhunt for the driver of the vehicle who fled the scene just after the crash. A metro spokesperson says part of the station is damaged, but metro passengers can continue boarding the trains from platforms as usual.
Last night, an Arkansas boy was reporting missing. 30 minutes later, he was found. The quick recovery was due to Project Lifesaver. Project Lifesaver is a tracking device in the form of a wristband or ankle band offered to anyone with a medical condition that could cause them to wander or run off. Saline County is the only county in central Arkansas that has this technology. It was used the first time last night when Deputy Josh Hickey got the call that 8-year-old Dalton Mercer was missing. Dalton is bipolar and has Tourette's syndrome, which his mother says is behind his compulsion to run. The search began on the family's property, and Dalton was found 33 minutes later. Dalton's mother says the last time he ran off without a tracking device, his family saw the direction he went in and saw him go, but it still took massive manpower, dogs, and horses to find him 12 hours later. Typical search and rescue operations can cost a county up to $1,200, but last night's operation cost only Deputy Hickey's overtime.
With the Iraqi political landscape in disarray, hopes of a safer, more stable Iraq seems ever slimmer. For the nation's youngest citizens, violence has become a daily reality. CNN reports on how the constant unrest affects them at such a vulnerable age.
These schoolboys don't even flinch at the sound of gunfire. 6-year-old Huda walks to school with her brother and sister, her tattered backpack almost as big as she is. Despite the violence, not many parents bring their kids to school. I'm scared to go out, Huda says, but she has to overcome her fear every day. Ms. Rahima is trying to get her kids to concentrate on math class. Huda's paying more attention to her coloring book than what's on the chalkboard. She doesn't care much for math. She wants to be a gym teacher. Barbie sneakers, Barbie pencil case, and her mom promised her more. I am happy, Huda says, because my mom said she would buy me toys and things and new clothes. But I said, Daddy, I don't want, because Daddy needs to make money. Like many students here, her parents don't talk to her about the country's violence. They just say, don't go out. As Huda's classmates compete to answer Ms. Rahima's questions, Muhammad in the back is not being called on. But it's not his favorite subject anyway. That would be religion. Ask him if he's ever scared, and the answer is a defiant no. At recess, our camera gets the attention, though Muhammad just wants to eat his apple.
Violence, sectarian divide, insurgent attacks are not topics of conversation here. Professors say that the kids go through so much trauma outside of school that they want this to be an environment where the kids can just have fun, focus on their studies, and just be kids.
The 4th grade divas, Hanan and her gang, rule the playground. She likes showing off her sense of fashion. But then it's to religion class, and the vivacious girls are subdued. The scarves that were draped on their shoulders now cover their hair. The parents of Hanan, the wannabe engineer, tell her not to be afraid. She'll do her chores when she gets home and then play, but not outside. I don't go in the streets, she says. I just go to my friend's house. These kids may seem like any others, but teachers say the effects of the war can be found just below the surface. I'm scared of the explosions, Huda says. Now at night, but she's lost her thought before she is able to finish. Arwa Damon, CNN, Baghdad.
The commander of multinational forces in Iraq gave an update on conditions in Iraq since the bombing of a mosque. General George Casey said Iraqis have risen to the occasion since the attack. Casey said that in 8 of Iraq's 18 provinces, there has been little or no reaction to the bombing.
Candidly, in the initial days following the bombing, these days were kind of a confusing jumble of exaggerated reporting that actually took us a few days to kind of sort through. What did we find? First of all, the overall levels of violence did not increase substantially as a result of the bombing. In fact, the levels of violence the week after the bombing, were comparable to the 2 previous weeks. Second, the nature of the violence did in fact change, with attacks on mosques and civilian killings increasing initially and then gradually tapering off.
Casey added that Iraqi security forces performed generally well, and there has been improved coordination between the Army and police.
Coming up after sports, a kindergarten student decides that instead of singing "The Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round," that he'd actually go make it happen. Stay with us for the details.
And it's time for football again, plus more sports coming up this weekend. I'll let you in on that after the break.
For thousands of children, their own world has become a jail. Their captors are fear and violence. Your kids shouldn't have to grow up this way. Give your children back their childhood. Do something now. Call 1-800-WE-PREVENT. Together, we will take a bite out of crime.
Which child deserves to be read to? This one? Or is it this one? Which child will learn to use a toothbrush? Who will have a chance to sing? The choice is yours. Volunteer for Head Start. With your help, more low-income preschool children can get what other children already have. Change the world of a child, and you change the world.
The Bison football team begins preparation for the 2006 season today as head coach Rainey Tribble and his squad open spring practice. The NCAA allows 15 spring practices, which will culminate for Harding with the spring game on April 1st. The Bisons will have 44 offensive players, 36 defensive players, and 3 kickers participating in drills. The Bison baseball team will open Gulf South Conference play and travel to Arkadelphia this weekend to compete against Henderson State in a 3-game series. The Bisons are now 7-6 and celebrating the victory over Crichton College earlier this week. The games will begin at noon tomorrow. Both of the Bison tennis teams shut out the University of Arkansas in Pine Bluff yesterday at the Harding tennis courts. The men are now 9-3 overall and 3-0 at home. The Lady Bisons also improved and are 10-2 overall and 5-0 at home. The Bisons will travel next Tuesday to compete against the University of the Ozarks, and the Lady Bisons will battle Central Arkansas. The lacrosse team opens up their away season in St. Charles, Missouri tomorrow afternoon. They will play Lindenwood B and the University of Missouri-Rolla. The Bisons have won all their previous games this season, and 2 wins this weekend will put them at 5-0. The first game begins at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Harding University's ultimate frisbee team, the Apocalypse, will be also traveling this weekend. Tomorrow they go to Springfield, Missouri to compete in Frostbite, a tournament hosted by the Missouri State Frisbears. The team has been successful so far this season, coming in second in their last tournament, the Hendricks Ultimate Experience. Riverview High School is hosting the Class 3A State High School Basketball Tournament in their new facility, the Riverview Activity Center. The Riverview Raiders are still in play and will try to advance to the tournament semifinals tonight when they face Fountain Lake.
A kindergartner in Wisconsin found a new way to cut class. On Tuesday afternoon, a 5-year-old boy snuck out of his classroom and stole a school bus. The bus driver apparently went to throw out some trash and left the bus running. Well, the boy took the bus on a joyride before eventually crashing into a parked car, a tree, a light pole, and then a school fence. Fortunately, no one was injured. The bus driver has been suspended while under investigation. No word on a punishment for the 5-year-old.
That's pretty intense.
That's scary.
All right.
For sure.
Well, what's the forecast looking for us?
Well, let's take a look at the 5-day forecast. And later on in the week, we have a chance for rain again after we get done with Sunday's rain. Just a 30% chance, a 20% chance again on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, we have another front coming through, and we'll have a few throughout next week. And those showers and thunderstorms could be a little bit strong. But again, everything changes between now and then. It's a long way away, so we'll just have to check that out and see later on in the week.
So no severe weather or anything?
Not coming up soon, but we'll see later on towards Wednesday and Thursday and see what we have.
All right. Well, thank you, Andrew.
Carol, what can we be getting excited about for sport?
Well, we have a lot of games this weekend. One thing we do need to remember is Jordan Blake in our prayers. He's still in critical condition. Okay. He'll be traveling home soon to start therapy, so just remember him.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Carol. Well, thank you for tuning in tonight on Live at 5.
Be sure to tune in again on Monday. Have a great weekend.